Hi, who else is really nervous and really anxious and really excited at the same time? I've been having a lot of energy moving through me, and at times it's been really difficult to tell whether this is a positive or a negative, or if those are two sides of the same coin. And so I'm bringing some channeled messages through for you so you can work out where this energy is coming from, whose it is, what you can do with it, and what it means for where you're up to on your journey at the moment. So I want to just start by saying that I am not the first person who said that 2025 was going to have a lot of chaotic energies for the collective. I said that a lot of people were going to be waking up this year, and it's very much a last call for a few people. I think the next 5 years there'll be some people waking up, and maybe in the next 10 years, but really these are the people where, they're running to make the boat at the moment. And because they're waking up in this state of fear and chaos and panic, or really they're wondering if, they're going a little bit psychotic. There's a lot of disruption among other light workers, among other starseeds, and just among the collective that we're all connected to and a part of. This is not even talking about, propaganda and mainstream news and the actual atrocities happening across the world. So even when we take all of that really obvious, unpleasant stuff out of the picture, there's still this undercurrent of anxiety among the collective going on. And it's very, very possible that you're feeling that and taking that on for the collective and transmuting it and moving it out. How are you doing this? First of all, you've got to understand that we're not as individual as we think we are. We are part of a collective consciousness on this planet, and we are tuned into that whether we realize or not. Think about how many times you've come up with an idea and then not long after somebody else has invented that. You're downloading that from the same collective consciousness, from the same cloud of information that we're all part of and all tuned into. That's definitely a level to our existence and our beingness. And if you looked at human beings or any being from the perspective of someone who's multidimensional, higher vibrational, or even sometimes just some clairvoyance, you can see the way in which our auras and the fields of our souls are constantly overlapping and blending and merging and taking and sharing information around. So first of all, I just want to let you know that that is definitely something happening for a lot of people, and it's completely normal. It's not anybody's fault, but there are things that you can do to help you get through that and shake off those energies faster. One is calling your power back. This can be something that you take literal steps towards, such as giving yourself a lot of downtime, personal space, doing things like self-care, presence, mindfulness, meditation, yoga, kickboxing, whatever it is that gets you into your body and makes you feel more you, more alive. On an energetic, woo-woo level, things you can do is sit down quietly, take some deep breaths, and literally say, I call my power back. And imagine your luminosity growing, your light coming back to you. Maybe cords and reels and things are sucking back up to you, and just let yourself feel that luminosity coming back into your own body, back into your own self. And just trust that anyone that you're meant to be sharing energy with, such as your children, for example, or any other dependents or people you have strong positive attachments to, trust that those cords are going to stay or regrow even when you call your power back, and cut those cords and bring that energy back to you. That's really going to help you disconnect from that collective consciousness at least a little bit more and lessen the anxiety and the pressure around that. And remember, your suffering and your empathy isn't helping anybody. You can move that energy through you and lighten the load a little bit, but that energy is still just going to keep flowing. It's still going to be there. And you don't need to cry over every moment of it. You're allowed to take breaks. You're allowed to be indifferent sometimes. I know a lot of us are taught throughout our lives, I think all of us throughout our lives are taught that if we're not crying over something, if we're not stressed about something, then it means that we don't care. about that thing. But the thing is that you can care. You care a lot. You know that you're a caring, loving person, and you don't need to prove it to yourself or anybody else. You can have that care and compassion for other people, and you can show that care and compassion for yourself first by protecting your energies, and then from that place of strength and power, serenity and health and vitality, then take aligned action that's going to help other people and the collective. And here's a clue for you: if it is easy action, if it is fun action, if it feels good, the way that you're sharing your energy and your creativity, if your generosity is something that uplifts you too, then that's the right course of action. Spirit can't lose any more soldiers in this battle. We're all doing so well, and nobody needs to be a martyr or make too many sacrifices and get left behind. You're allowed to be strong and powerful. In fact, it's mandated that you're strong and powerful because it's your vibration that's helping uplift everybody else. Now that I've said that, I also want to acknowledge that people's personal lives are probably a bit up and down, or maybe your nervous systems are a bit up and down. For a lot of us, this is a breakdown before a breakthrough, where we've already risen our vibration to a really healed and supreme and loving and confident and aligned level. And you can feel that alignment within you. If you're listening to this, then you can feel like you're more you than you've ever been. And that's still growing and unfolding and expanding as you grow and expand and evolve as well. That's awesome, and I'm so proud of you. And please slow down, take stock. Know who you are, and be so proud of you for having the bravery to keep excavating who you are, because it can be ugly, it can be awful, but you got through it. And if you're watching this, I'm sending you so much love and wishing you all the self-love in the world. With that comes a purging of the old. All the lower vibrations, all the old energies that don't serve you anymore. That might look like deaths in your life, like ends of careers, ends of relationships. It might look like the need to scream. It might literally be that you want to vomit, that you want to scream, that you want to punch something, that there needs to be this physical movement that accompanies that purging. Breath work is great for that, but also actually screaming is great for that. If you live in like the southeast Queensland area of Australia, me and some of my beautiful peers are holding a screaming event. It's early in the morning. We're going to go to this big field and just scream everything out. If it's not feeling natural to you, we're going to do some chanting and breathing and pushing. And then if you want to hang around, we're going to do a healing circle afterwards. Laurie Douglas and Michelle Douglas of Aligned Wisdom and Empowered Life programs are super talented and beautiful. And again, they're doing this all for free. And so if you want to sit around and let go of all of that with love and replace it with love and light, it's going to be a really lovely experience. It might just be about 6 of us looking like complete nut jobs in a field, but I'm really excited about it, and it's something that Spirit's been asking me to do for years actually, so I'm excited to finally do it. If you're someone for whom being around a bunch of people screaming doesn't sound super nice, that's okay. You can do your own thing in your own time, and we're going to record this on Zoom, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to edit into a nice little video that people can use later on. You can also participate virtually. I'll include the details of the link to that down below. But basically, we want to just give people this opportunity to just unashamedly let the energy go, because sometimes screaming or some kind of outburst is the only way it's gonna get out, because there's so much energy. Now, I'm going to go back to that a little bit, but first I want to go into this idea of positive versus negative energy. Okay, so anxiety and excitement can look very similar. If you listen to Bashar, or if you're interested in nervous system regulation, you probably know all about this already, but here's your friendly reminder from your woo-woo friend. Sometimes we get so aligned, so uplifted, so excited, so overwhelmed with love, overflowing with that Kundalini energy, with heart activations, with like an expanded crown chakra or third eye, and we just start seeing all the beauty in the world, and we're just possessed by love, as Freddie Mercury would say, possessed by love. And it's so overwhelming and so beautiful. But because our nervous system isn't used to being so happy and so inspired and so excited, we start interpreting that energy as anxiety. And that's when we start to get sick, when we start to get anxious, when we start to get avoidant, when we start to get angry or irritated, and we start to see it as this bad thing. And then that's probably, reverse osmosis. The feeling generates the bad thoughts sometimes, just like the unhelpful thoughts generate the bad feelings. So we feel anxious, and then we think, I'm going to burn out again. I can't do this. It's not going to work. Who am I? This is going to take too long. We start bogging ourselves down. And really, the reason why we're doing that is because we want to escape the energy. But if we can remember that the energy is here for us, that it's an energy of love, that it's an energy of creativity, if we can soothe ourselves when those feelings start to feel uncomfortable, then we can keep letting that flow and keep on that path. And it does get easier and easier the more you go. So when you feel that anxiety starting to twist, have some mantras that are going to work for you, like I love this feeling. I love feeling so excited and inspired. I feel so creative. And I trust that when it's time to rest, I will rest, and it will be divine rest, and it will make me even stronger and more loving and more inspired, and make this project even more sustainable. And it's going to make my life more sustainable. And I trust these feelings, and I thank these feelings, and I let them flow through me. And they will naturally subside. It won't go on forever. But it can be really, really overwhelming. I mean, I've been feeling at times like not just that intense heart activation, but also the Kundalini coming up. And sometimes when I let it flow a bit, I want to crawl out of my skin. I'll be like twitching and squirming, and sometimes I'll even start to feel like a little bit nauseous because I don't recognize the feeling, and I feel like my skin's crawling all over. And it can be a very amorous feeling too, which depending on where you are can be super inappropriate and uncomfortable. And it just starts to rise and bubble up in this intensity, and my instinct is to hold it down. And I've been noticing that when it starts to rise up, I start clenching my stomach really hard because I'm like, no, stay down there. I'm not ready to feel this right now. I just want to be nice and peaceful and calm. And then that's when I get nauseous, that's when I get anxious, that's when my back starts to slip out. And it's because I'm just not letting the energy flow. I'm blocking myself. So, again, something we're going to have to get used to, breathing through it, letting the energy flow. And that's why it's so important for you to have an outlet. Ideally, that outlet would be a creative outlet. Ideally, you'd be able to sing or dance or write or build something, construct something, even just like running around with kids or friends or whatever it is you can to let the energy move and flow through you. If you can make something creative out of it, that's great. But in all fairness, sometimes when you feel all overwhelmed with excitement and inspiration, the last thing you want to do is sit still for 4 hours straight and write a novel. Sometimes you have to actually physically move. So you can get out and run and trust that as the energy burns and moves through you, that it's healing you and revitalizing you and rebuilding you as it happens. If you're feeling quite bogged down and that buildup of energy has just gotten really, really stuck, then maybe it is time that you scream. And it doesn't have to be a hysterical, blood-curdling, traumatizing to everybody around you scream, though no judgment. Sometimes we need that as well. And I see you, and I love you, and that's okay too. That is okay if you need to get that out. Get it out. But you can also play some heavy metal music or a rock ballad or show tunes, if you want to like belt out some Moana as loudly as you can, do that as well. Get the energy moving out and through you. Because this is what ascension looks like. This is what you're going through. This is everything that you're praying for and waiting for. We just have to get physically used to it. And what's happening as we get physically used to it is the body is evolving with us. See, we're not just calling our power back, we're not just bringing more of our soul into us, but the body is rising to meet the soul, rising to become more light. And I mean that literally, a lightness of being, but also literally light, to be able to see ourselves as less separate from the ether around us. We are light beings, and it's time to see what that really, really looks like. And this is how we go through it. So keep breathing, keep vocalizing, keep moving. That energy in your body that you need to release, it doesn't have to be a curse. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's a gift that feels uncomfortable to hold right now. Imagine that someone's given you this, like, I keep being shown gold in my head. I'm not sure where this analogy is going, but I'm going to work with it. Imagine that your angels have just handed you like stacks of gold bars, and they're glowing and they're vibrant, and angels are really showing me this and saying, we have handed you stacks of gold bars. And now you're just like, this is actually really heavy and I don't know what to do with it. Can I eat it? Can I spend it? Can I put it down over here? And the angels are like, no, 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 look at it closer. Look at it closer. Understand what you can do with this. Understand the alchemy here. You know, you've been given all of the ingredients for abundance, and the angels are just watching you put it together and work out what to do with it. Okay, I'm also being told that I need you guys to understand what those energetic downloads actually look like in your body too. I'm going to finally put up the channeling videos for the crown chakra soon. Excuse me, it took so long. My day job was super, super busy in a good way. And then I went away to Ubud in Bali for 10 days, and it was amazing and healing and educational, and I didn't want to do too much work, and then I was worried if I made a video over there that it would look braggy or something. I don't know. But I've certainly manifested a lot of Bali at home. I got banana trees and frangipanis and all the beautiful, wonderful things, and incense burning everywhere. So I feel so blessed that I can bring like all the beauty of the world to me where I stand as well. So I'm super blessed, super lucky. Excuse me for disappearing for a while. I'm back with my feet on Australian soil with all my electronics around me, so we're hitting the ground running. And yeah, holding my first in-person event this weekend, this Saturday. So yeah, up and at 'em, right? Okay, so I'm going to talk about this in the crown channeling chakra videos, crown chakra channeling videos, but you need to hear it now as well. Okay, whenever we receive, it is an energetic payload, and that can be a physical manifestation, it can be an idea, it can be a gift, it can be something that's activating within us. But I want you to imagine it like a ball of light. Let's imagine it like a ball of light for now. And essentially that is like a hard drive's worth of information. There's data, ones and zeros, codes, whatever, all in that. That comes into our system and our being, and then we have to process that. And you'll process that differently depending on the technology of your body, your own gifts, what's been activated, what you've given yourself permission to be able to do. So for example, if you learned at a very early age that having your third eye open means that you're going to see some horrifying things, so you blocked it up and stopped giving yourself permission to see, that energy probably isn't going to come through your third eye. Probably that energy is going to be a sensory, felt, embodied experience where you feel tingling on your arms, or you have urges to go out and do particular things. Maybe you're going to hear it as translated language in your ears or in your mind. You know, a lot of the channeling I do, I hear as like a monologue in my head, but not spoken out loud. And the way that we are able to process that depends on our nervous system and on our bodies. So if you're like me and you've lived a life full of anxiety, and you're probably neurodivergent, and you either like go hard and burn out, or you hibernate for ages. I'm a Taurus, and a Sagittarius moon and Libra rising, so I definitely have a lot of that work hard, rest hard, extremes and opposites within me, and that burning out, that passion, and then I can't talk to anybody or do anything for days. So because I've had a body, or I've trained my body, that's what I'm used to in that way, that can't handle a whole lot of energy, or has learned to be afraid of a lot of energy because what it could mean when I use it, burnout, for example. When I get those big energetic payloads, I get anxious, I start to shake, I might get a migraine, I might get nauseous. My body is like, energy is bad. But what I've been teaching myself through breath work and meditation and gradual practice and process over years, and I'm still learning and I'm still getting it wrong all the time. But what I've been teaching myself to be able to do is integrate that energy. And again, like I said, it's going to look different for you depending on where you're at in your healing journey, the ancestry and the ancestral karma that you're working with, which again is not your karma, it's something you volunteered to come and do. Unless you've reincarnated in your family a bunch of times. But again, it was your gift to the world to come and fix those issues. So thanks so much for being here. But however you process that ball of energy is up to you. And your experience of that is valid however it looks. So what we're doing is we're re-regulating the body to be able to handle that energy. A meditation technique that is super simple and super effective, which I've talked about before, comes from Jose Silva's mind control method. You literally just breathe deeply in and out through the nose with your eyes closed, count backwards from 100. And that is absolutely enough to get you into a state of flow, surrender, integration, and calming of the nervous system. So if in doubt, if you're panicking and you don't know what to do, close your eyes, breathe deeply in and out of the nose, and count backwards from 100. It's kind of hilarious how easy it is to access these altered states of consciousness and how easy it is to heal. But we're taught that it's hard. But it's not hard. It's actually really easy when you work through it and when you have the right information. So if you're getting this information from a bunch of different sources, if you already know this but you just needed a reminder, here I am to just say everything's going according to plan. Everything that the good people predicted is coming about. We always knew this year was going to be pretty chaotic. We always knew it was going to be a lot to deal with. And if you're struggling to deal with it, that's not on you. All of us are going through the same thing. And if you're already awake, well done, you're a little bit ahead and you have some more tools and supports at your disposal. If you're new to all of this, welcome. The people who are here for you, who love you already, are everywhere. Find the people you resonate with the most. You'll find heaps of YouTubers with different groups and societies, and some of those are free and some of those are paid. Find the people you're attracted to and jump into those waters. We're not asking you to sign away your house or make a blood pact or anything. Usually these things are like sign up to a community and then you can chill and then dodge it, but we're all here for you and we all understand, and you don't have to do this alone. Okay? We're all going through this together. So forgive yourself, love yourself, let go of judgment, keep breathing. If that looks like a scream, that's okay. All right. Have a good day.